What's up, Fantasy Goats? It is the Week 12 Key Fantasy Takeaways. We're going to get into all the fire data from yesterday. I'm going to break it down. We're going to discuss it. Of course, I'm going to take every single one of the Goats questions. There's some injuries to go over. We got a key Monday night football game. Oh, yeah, the Niners and the Panthers. This is the huge NFL ramifications here between these two teams. But for fantasy, we must play on. We are going to move forward. We do have a huge Week 13 Thanksgiving holiday slate, no buys. We're going to get into all of this. We're going to go and we're going to get into it right now, Fantasy Goats. How are you guys? It is a Monday evening, 6 o'clock. It's the power hour here at the Fantasy Goats. As you know, I am your shepherd. And I'm going to be guiding us here this evening for the key fantasy football takeaways for Week 12. Yeah, man, what a week. What an absolute banger, so to say. A couple of players and a couple of teams really stood out. They did. We're going to get into them. We're going to get into all of the fire data that I'm going to pull up in just a second here. We're going to pull up this fire data provided by Ryan Heath over at Fantasy Points. Who does a fantastic job really giving us some really solid, actionable information that we like to use, right? We want to use this stuff. It's important to be able to interpret it, use it, implement it when it comes to making some lineup decisions. And of course, they don't get any bigger than they are now. Many of us are around that 7-4 marks, about to be 7-5 maybe, because we had Josh Allen. That would be me, by the way. Yeah, we've got stuff to do, right, Nate Goat? We got stuff to do, my friend. Nate Goat and the Seahawks, man, they took care of business. They sure did. They took care of business yesterday on the road, as normal, as status quo. They took care of business. This isn't the right layout. So we're not going to begin until we get the absolute right layout here. That's just me being crazy, Nate. I do have some Kenny Walker info. JSN was absolutely a sensational beast. We weren't expecting anything different, right? Yeah, the Kenny Walker. Let me find Kenny Walker, because I don't want to forget about him. And since you're here, Nate, Kenny Walker's his snaps yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, hit somewhere around. Oh, you went against JSN, so that's a bitch. That's terrible. But isn't it that it's always like that, though, right, man? It's always like that. Just when you think you're having a really good week and you're doing really well, and then you run into the buzzsaw. And that's the game. That's the game. How do you think, like 2 weeks ago, and this just right off the top of my head with the Josh Allen game, or you know what? Forget about that one. We could go right to yesterday's game. We could go to the Lions and the Giants. What if that team was still putting up 150, 155 with players not named Jamar Chase or not named Jahmyr Gibbs? They may have lost that game 155 to 174, like something crazy like that. Or Dak, how about that? You're coasting. You're up by 20 or so points, and it's the 4:00 games, and your opponent has Dak. You may have lost. You probably lost. Well, that's the game. That's the game. That's why we love it, though. Kenny Gainwell, hey, Kyle Manungai. There's nothing, there's nothing not to like about the dude, right? I mean, he's a little out there. He's a little quirky, right? He's a little weirdish, but there's nothing really not to like about him. We're gonna have to redo this entire setup, Nate, because until it gets right, sometimes I can't see certain things until it gets right. Where is this guy? It would be. Is this it? No, I don't think that's it. Maybe this is it. Let me see this one. I don't think this is it either. Damn. Bear with me, goats. One cam, one slot. Maybe this. I think this is it. I think this is the one. Dun, 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 dun. Share this. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Here we go. That's looking better. There we go. All right. Are you a Kamanungai manager? Nate Goat. Kamanungai. And how are you this evening, Brock Cragen? How are you this evening? Welcome. Well, I ought to welcome everybody now to the Fantasy Goats. Now that we are, now that we have all of the back end operational technical discrepancies out of the way. Brock Cragen, welcome to the Fantasy Goats. And Goats, by the way, it is a special holiday week 13 here on the Fantasy Goats YouTube channel. Well, we're here today, Monday, week 12, key fantasy takeaways. Tomorrow, Tuesday, is the waiver. Week 13 waivers doesn't change. However, Wednesday is a special show for us. It'll be a week 13 lineup advice holiday edition. That would cover the 3 games on Thursday where we're all for. We'll stuffing our faces. Hope everyone's going to have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. If I don't see you guys between now and Thursday. It'll cover the Thursday games. It'll also cover the early Black Friday game. Once that game is over, we will come on. We'll react to it. We'll get into the rest of the start sits for the main Sunday slate. That's the special holiday edition for the Goats. For all you freaking mother effing Goats that are marching to the championship. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Want to hear about my spot tonight in fantasy? Winner gets into a 4-man play. The winner tonight gets into a 4-man playoff. Does the season end a little bit early, or is it just the way the standings are right now? I want to hear about your spot tonight in the Carolina San Fran game. The winner gets into a 4-man playoff spot. It's just the way the standings are. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. That makes sense. So now let's get to your spot. You're up by 19. I got Rico. He's got CMC. You're up by 19 with Rico going up against CMC's former team. What's up, B-Goat? What are you motherfucking B-Goat? I mean, that maniac is able to make up 19 points all on his own. He can make up 19 points, Brock, right? I mean, so let's just say CMC gets you to let's just say CMC does in fact at the bare bones minimum get you gets the opponent 19 points. That's like a medium floor. That is like that is almost his high floor. But then you have Rico. Let's say Rico does it the worst 10. I think it's going to be a really close game. when we could parse this any way we want, Brock. We could parse this any way you want. So does this affect does the win for you affect between, let's say, seeds 1 and 2, or a bye, and seed 3 going on the road against seed 2? I think it'll be a close game, even being up by 19. I think what would make it better, and I know this is kind of quirky because when it's all said and done, the numbers are the numbers, right? What I think would make it a little bit better, right, if you were to strike first with Rico. That would make it better because now you're up by 26, 29, 30, and now you know exactly what CMC needs. But again, we're talking about CMC. I wish you the best, though, man. I wish you the best. I think it's going to be a close game. Brock Goat. It's going to be a close one. B Goat. What do you think about that one, B Goat? You're down by 12. Down by 12, I have Rico. and Tet. My opponent has played all his players. No, so this one's much more doable. We need 60 yards and 60 yards, one way or another. This is much more doable. Well, that is doable. This should be a win. Barring, of course, knock on the wood, any type of severity, any type of injury. DK Metcalf went in and out of the game yesterday. Ankle. With Mason Rudolph, with Jalen Warren, with Kenny Gainwell, all had really good games. Kenny Gainwell, Kenny G, as I like to call him. Kenny Gainwell still has more valuable role than Jalen Warren today in a back-and-forth script. Gainwell, 36% of the carries, 19.4% target share. That was with Mason Rudolph. But it's been like this. It's been like this for the last several weeks. Warren, 64% carry share. No use in the passing game with Warren. The pair evenly split 4 carries. Kenny Gainwell seems to be a solid standalone flex option, high upside, RB2 moving forward, man. It doesn't matter whether it's Rodgers or this guy Rudolph. Jeez, oh my God, the throat ski should have cleared it a little bit better for the goat skis. Bucky is coming back and Baker's out. I got some thoughts on that, B. I got some thoughts on that. So yeah, that's George Kittle. Also news, T Higgins concussion. You're not gonna have him on Thursday night. If you have T Higgins, we're making other plans. He's not gonna clear in time. That's a shame too, because they're playing the Ravens. Although we know Jamar Chase is going to light the Ravens up, we think he's going to light them up again. You would maybe think that the dudes that got torched last week by Jamar Chase on 11 catches and 3 touchdowns would want to at least avenge some sort of payback, or maybe step up and play a little bit differently. Needs 60 piece from Brock. Needs 60 from Brock Purdy and Skittles. Am I reading this correctly, Nate? Nate Goat needs 60 piece. 60 points from Brock and Kittle and CMC to get 15. Are you playing CMC? Or this is including CMC on your squad? I know a bunch of goats. Bunch of goats have CMC between yesterday and letting us know that, and just bunch of goats drafted CMC on our advice back in June, back in July, back in August, as we kept seeing his ADP move higher and higher from where it started. I would be shocked, absolutely shocked, if A, Baker Mayfield does not play in the upcoming game. I'd be shocked. B, Bucky Irving returning does absolutely minimal, marginal for the successes of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at this time. That's just they're absolutely trending in the wrong direction, and this guy is not that kind of guy. He's not. I don't even know if CMC to just come back and be worth a couple of wins moving forward, 3 wins moving forward. Even last year, it was lost. They were lost last year. He came back. They didn't do anything as long as far as I could remember. Bucky's going to do very little in terms of their success. Now, fantasy is a different story. Hopefully, he's coming back 100%. But yeah, Baker's not going to miss that game. Don't you worry about that, Michael. Michael B. G. Goat. Yeah, the 1, 2, 3, and the locked up and the guy I'm playing both have the same record, 50-50. And I've never seen something like this. Welcome, baby. Welcome, man. It's fantasy. This is the way it is, man. Right? This is the expect the unexpected. That the age old cliche. That's a win right there. The age old cliche. Expect the unexpected. You damn right. I think it is Manungai time again. I believe it is Manungai time. Season high in games with DeAndre Swift. Remember, his season high was the game that he had the entire backfield to himself a few weeks ago. But this was his season high with a healthy DeAndre. 60% on the backfield carry share. The first time he's out-carried Swift all year. In 3 games since Swift returned from injury, Manungai has out-carried him 5-2 inside the 10. It's inside the 10 is what we're really looking for, Goats. The high-valued attempts are within the 10-yard line and obviously forward to the goal. I think it is. I mean, I would like it to be. I mean, no one likes, backfield rotations. No one likes platoons. So, yeah, for just that reason, I'd like to say, yes, it is Manungai time. However, that may not just be the case. What bodes well here is the fact that in the last few weeks with DeAndre Swift, he's getting these inside the 10 carries. He is getting this goal line work, and he is delivering. He's been successful, which is it's all we can ask for. It's not like he's getting these attempts and he's been failing at them or not scoring. So that's working in our favor. It can only get better. And it might just get better. I don't know if I wouldn't exactly call it that Swift was benched because of the fumble. I don't know about that. There's no real solid reporting on that. But maybe Ben Johnson does treat this as if, man, this is it, man. I know about DeAndre Swift. I'm talking like Ben Johnson now. I know about DeAndre, man. I had him in Detroit. He's all right. He ain't my guy. This is my guy. This is the dude that I drafted. We saw what he did. So yeah, it bodes well that he's getting his opportunity. He's getting the opportunity in the right spot. So there is excellent upside here with Monangai. Absolutely. Solid flex appeal. Again, how did Godwin end up doing? Not terrible. Not wonderful, not terrible. He was on a low snap count. Ryan Heath over here at Fantasy Points would not have Godwin information because it was the late game. From what I understand, he made a couple of catches. He was not going to be playing a full role last night. They even said that on the broadcast. They even said Chris Collinsworth said that. I think he looked better after this game than he did after his first 2 games back earlier in the season. Godwin. All right, so I'm going to retract. Bucky Irving returning isn't enough of a difference maker. Getting a healthy, 100% healthy Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin, maybe better offensive line play. Now if you're combining these 3 elements of the game, then maybe now you're talking about the Buccaneers being able to perhaps get off this schneid. They're giving away this division right now. I mean, it's trending in the wrong way. If Carolina could pull this one off tonight, which I don't think they are, but if they can, they will have control of the NFC South. If they could pull it off, that's a big if. That's a big one. At least Sanders got Cleveland in the red zone, so Judkins could get some. Yes, sir, Bob. You know we were talking about that. You absolutely know it. And what was, I don't know, call me crazy. It's almost like a different part of the playbook opened with this guy. All of a sudden, it's like all these new plays start pouring out. There was none of this with Joe Flacco when he was there. Dylan Gabriel, I wouldn't even watch this team with Dylan Gabriel. I wouldn't. I've got Judkins in a spot or 2. I do, and I could still care less to watch the Browns. I watched the Browns play the Raiders yesterday. Any hope for Brian? I want to get to that, Brock. I'm definitely getting to Brian Thomas Jr. Yeah, it looked like you had a whole new set of plays. Let's look for some Brown stuff here. There's got to be some Brown stuff. Tracy, Tyrone, Wandale, big time games. Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, 11.4%, 21.6%, and 28.6% target share. Target shares in 3 games with Dan Campbell has called the plays. He's at 28.6% yesterday target share. That 28% is usually reserved for like an alpha wide receiver, or a CMC, I guess. That a CMC of late this season. J-Mo crapped the bed. I don't think we'll ever learn with J-Mo. No, we won't. Christian Watson had a good game, I think. Christian Watson commanded a 31.8% target share. That's a good game. It may not show up in that box score. Where it does show up is the fact of where Jordan Love is looking. 31.8% target share today, the second highest of his career. That score was what, 23-6 against 9. Speaking of 9, he's in concussion protocol. I'm sorry. I went back last night when I was in the lab to watch the condensed replay of that game because I wasn't going to watch the whole thing. I didn't see him get hit. Where was he hit? I didn't see anything serious like that. You guys, did you see him get hit? I didn't see him get hit. Like that would warrant him to be dizzy. I know he was speaking kind of dizzy after the game. He was rambling on about some things. Ben. So yeah, he's in concussion protocol, and we're going to get that rookie, undrafted Brosmer to try to turn that ship around. Wouldn't surprise me if that's the right quarterback. If that's the right quarterback that is going to be able to execute that offense. And that's unfortunate. Nevertheless, he's averaging a team high. Christian Watson's averaging 56.6 receiving yards per game since returning in week 8, while his 12.3 fantasy points per game and his 19% target share since Tucker Kraft's injury led all Packer receivers. This would be a borderline start. Like, well, I mean, I'm sorry, a borderline almost must start Christian Watson, because he didn't even score yesterday. So the floor was what? Maybe 10 points? Maybe a little bit less. I have neighbors, man. I would have loved to see him and Winston together. You and me both, B-Goat. You and me both. Neighbors. That was my wide receiver one. It was not Brian Thomas. My wide receiver one was Malik Neighbors. The war chief had Malik Neighbors as wide receiver one. Why? Because it wouldn't have mattered whether it was Neighbors or Dart. One or the other, he was going to eat. I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna say yes for this reason and this reason only. If he is your third wide receiver starting, it's not going to get that much better for a wide receiver 3 on your team at this point of the season, at this juncture. He's a wide receiver 3 with wide receiver 1 upside. There isn't that much downside to it, with the exception of this. It's unpredictable. He's unpredictable, and his quarterback are unpredictable, and all the options that he has now makes it unpredictable. We're going to put him in week 13 as a wide receiver 3. Maybe he has a good game. Maybe he doesn't. Let's say he has that good game. Let's say he has a good game. We're going to start him again in week 14. Maybe he has a good game. Maybe he doesn't have a good game. Maybe he doesn't have as good of a game week 14 as he did week 13. Now what in week 15? That's the only trouble with this one. But yeah, there is hope. There's absolutely hope. Could the other scenario here, which makes this again a wide range of outcomes for BTJ. The other scenario here is that, could he just run consistent? That's going to be, I think, in my opinion anyway, that's going to be a little bit difficult because, again, they brought in Jacoby. Trevor Lawrence likes Peter Parker. They've got a running game. They've got a tight end. We know Trevor Lawrence likes a tight end. So that's why. I mean, again, as long as we're treating Brian Thomas Jr. for someone that could get us wide receiver 3 numbers. Wide receiver 3 numbers are generally anywhere between like 9 and 11, 10 and 12, 13. And as long as it goes up, increases from there, then yeah, absolutely. But let's say we don't play Brian Thomas Jr. that first week, so we don't play him. He's supposed to be good to go this week. Supposed to be. Let's say we wait and see approach with him, and we don't start him. And he does have that good game on week 13, and he's on your bench. He's on my bench. He's on your bench. He's on my bench. Then what? Now what? Now he left points on the bench. We don't get any bench. We don't get bench points like that. And then we're going to insert him week 14 based on that good game, and now it's like it's a 50-50 ball. It's still a 50-50 ball unless he runs consistent. That would be nice. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if it has. It's not that the dude isn't talented either. The dude is freaking talented. He is. He's talented. There's a few things that are working against us. Not necessarily against anything else but us. The quarterback situation, the fact that the Jaguars are good now, or they're better this year. They don't have to do these launches, Hail Marys, 50 yards down the field where he's the recipient of those balls, and those balls weren't even from him. Those balls were from another quarterback. So now there's a quarterback issue here with him that they're not on the same page. The same shit that happened with Calvin Ridley. Same thing. Now, is he 100%? I think he's going to be as close to 100% as possible. There was that. There's a little bit of a heady mental thing going on when maybe like he's dropping balls, but I don't really think that's it. I don't think that's it at all. I have Michael Wilson. I have Jacoby. I'm going to hate when the number one comes back. Huh? Yeah, the Michael will. Well, actually, I guess both. Yeah. I mean, it's basic numbers, right? I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is going to be on the field just by way of him being on the field. Takes away, whether it be target shares, whether it be targets, whether it be air yards, whether it be routes. I mean, just by way of him being out there, someone else's advanced data, surface data reduces. It's just number. That's simple. And I would expect, I guess, the Michael Wilson thing is going to be interesting too. Interesting. Now, the question is going to be, well, did Jacoby have, like, he wasn't on the same page with Marvin Harrison Jr., but now he's on the same page with Michael Wilson. Now they're going to put Marvin Harrison Jr. back on the field. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit more tricky, I think. The Wilson, Marvin Harrison. The Jacoby situation with Brian Thomas Jr. is a little bit better because Jacoby Myers operates a lot better in the slot. And we know Brian Thomas Jr. does not. Brian Thomas Jr. operates outside. The dude that stands to lose is Parker. Peter Parker. Yeah, that's tricky, man. B-Goat, that is a tricky one. The Browns game was good. Yeah, it was a good game. I wonder what changed. I wonder what the hell changed. Amazing, right? This dude, this quarterback, Shadori. I call him Shadori. Shadori, they had a good game plan for him. And he also did his part by listening. Yeah, I know I can't spin move backwards and start pedaling backwards. I know I can't do that. No, I can't. Obviously, you can't. You're supposed to gain yards, not lose them. Who's Zach Charbonnet, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Where's Nate? I had T starting instead of Wandale this week when he decided to drop 30. Wandale's a good player. Vic Calvin did. But yeah, he is. Well, Calvin really is done in this league. He's not going to return. But yeah, no, that was a bust. His last good season, last solid good season was the one before he got suspended. A lot of people were trying to chase Calvin. Zach Charbonnet, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the Zach Charbonnet. No Kenny Walker, or just Zach Charbonnet. Where's Walker? Hopefully, K9 gets some more usage. There's the Nate Goat. Even though Charbonnet scored at the goal line, this was the best roll. This was the best roll for Kenny Walker all year. 64%, 64.7% carry share. Yeah, I kind of thought it was like it's like a 2-for-1, a solid 2-for-1. 75.8% weighted opportunity share, 15.4% target share. All were season high in games with Charbonnet. Line collapsed on Walker's goal line chance. The line collapsed on Walker's goal line chance. Gunnar Helm. Streaming tight end, folks. Gunnar Helm set career highs in target share and receiving yards this week, leading the Titans in both categories. Gunnar Helm, tight end streamer on a lousy Titans team. Cam Ward actually had a pretty good game. Line collapsing when K9 in is a trend I've noticed. Well, the line doesn't collapse with Zach Charbonnet at the goal line. Well, why would it be any different? Why? Because Charbonnet weighs a little bit more. Kenny Walker is freaking jacked. So I don't know. Cam Ward set a career high in his own NE per yard, 5.48. I don't know what that. I don't know. I'm not positive what he means here. This one. Leading the Titans in both categories. Cam Ward set career highs, rushing attempts and yards, 6 for 37 fantasy points per drop back. Yeah, Cam Ward had a good game. It's about time. Alec Pierce did not have a good game. Did anybody think that the Chiefs were going to lose this game? I sure as hell didn't. I did not think the Chiefs were going to lose that game. The Kansas City Chiefs have now targeted Rashi. Yeah, Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce target share over his last 4 games, 29. That's great. 16.1 is not great. 24% is good. 26.9% is good. Alex Pierce target share. Alex Pierce's target share yesterday versus the Chiefs, 6.5. That's terrible. That is just terrible. See, so this goes kind of back into like that Brian Thomas Jr. Can he run consistent? If you take a look here, what Alec Pierce was doing for his last 4 games before yesterday, he was consistently giving us good target shares, meaning that he was involved in their passing attack. Now, yesterday, the 5th game, coming out of the bye, 6.5. That's terrible. Chiefs always find a way. Yes, I'm from Indy. And the Colts, those Colts are having a fucking season. They're having a great season. I'm happy for you. I am. I didn't think for a second that they were going to win that game, though. Carly. Let me see if I got it. I do have a Carly stuff here. It's actually a very special Carly. Oh, no, I got this one. Carly, she's pulling all the right levers. The Colts have pulled all the right levers. Can they close it out? and maybe get a playoff win. Well, I got something else for you, goats. The fantasy goats are going to get a playoff win. We're going to get 2, maybe even 3 for you and the goats. All you got to do is like and subscribe. There's the Carly. Kansas City Chiefs have now targeted Rashee Rice 8 times this year from inside the 10-yard line. That's tied for 5th most among all wide receiver tight ends, despite Rice having played roughly half the games. The rest of the players on this list, only 3 touchdowns. Only 3. Only 3. Only 3 touchdowns. When did he come back from his thing? Week 7, week 8? Only 3, he says. Games, 5 games, 3 touchdowns. I mean, we'd all like them to be like Devontae. That's just not doable. That's not the way it works. Playoffs. The playoffs. I got one of those too. Still thought they were going to win. Tail of 2 halves. That was a tough game. It's going to be. It's good. I don't need to tell you this, Brock Goat. I think there's 2 games still on the slate with the Texans. Whew. That's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. Playoffs? Are you kidding me? Chiefs always find a way. The Chiefs are gonna sneak in there. The Chiefs are gonna sneak in there with a 7 seed, maybe a 6. All the Chiefs need to do is almost win out. Almost. They're going to beat the Chargers. They have a game with the Chargers. I think they got a game with the Raiders. That's a joke. They do have another game with the Broncos. I think that's like week 17. I think the Broncos will have everything locked up by then. It won't matter. Plus, even if let's say the Broncos are playing for the 1 seed in week 17, I think the Chiefs in Arrowhead versus the Broncos, it'll be payback. Yeah, no, I mean, a divisional opponent, you're lucky if you could get both wins in the same season. You're usually splitting. Look at the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. And Curious George Pickens. Look at the Cowboys, baby. Long snapper. T. Sieg. Long snapper. T. Sieg recovered. My God, the Cowboys should have won that game twice. They had all those opportunities. Well, there's the Bobby Goat. There's the Bobby. Let's root for the Raiders. Why are they so bad? Why are they so bad? Because they're just poorly run. Everyone's saying about Tom Brady. They're just a poorly run organization. I give them like a smidge of a higher grade than the Jets. Tiny. Because the Jets are just the absolute bottom of the league. Trash. I got CMC and I got Jawan left. He has Purdy. Good. I got like 25 more right now. There's the motherfucking Tron Goat. There's the boys. There's the motherfucking Goats. And then the J Goat. That's from the motherfucking J Goat. And the Tron Goat. And the Tron Force. Motherfucking T Force. I want to make sure I'm answering Bob Goat. You got CMC and Jawan left. You're playing against Purdy. I got like 25 more right now. Are you mean to say that you're up by 25? With this going in? I mean, if that's the case, you're probably good again with these 2 players against the QB with that margin, with that lead. You're probably good. I don't want to root for them. I mean, my partner, the commissioner here, he's a Raiders fan and a Rams fan because it's LA. So he roots for the Raiders. Look, I want to root for Raiders that will show us that they have the ability to turn an organization around and personnel around and be good. Yeah, then I'm all for it. But they continuously do the wrong things. They had no business whatsoever drafting that kid as high as they did. And then thinking that Geno Smith was the answer quarterback without setting up their offensive line, without making sure that their defense was just a piece or two away, because they are more than just a piece or two. I mean, the defense actually hasn't been that terrible. They play in a tough division. We shouldn't give them a pass because of that. We should not. J Goat, baby. The motherfucking J Goat. I'm up 90. I'm up 90. I'm up 90. Are you going to watch the game? I'm up 90, but you're playing against CMC, Purdy, and Kittle. Whew. What is the project? Well, I mean, not that really is the end all be all, but I'm curious. What is it projecting you for? 90. I mean, that's a large number to come back from. The only thing I'm going to say is, let's say all three of them turn in absolute bangers. I'm going to want to leave. Well, Purdy should be somewhere around the 22-24 range. CMC is probably somewhere around the 22 to 24 range. That would be 50. That leaves Kittle to make up the difference. I would say, just doing it like that with my head, I think, what do you mean? I think you're gonna win. I think you won. I think we're already moving on to week 13. That's what I think. Motherfucking J Goat. That's what I think. I picked up Pickens last week. He picked up Pickens last week. That's because of this league that you're in. You're able to pick up Pickens. Curious George, baby. It's almost like this is the new Bengals for our fantasy purposes and wide receiver purposes. We've been drafting Chase, and then a few rounds later we were drafting T. Higgins. This is like the new Bengals 2.0, where we could draft CD Lamb, and then it's going to be like another round or a round and a half later. It's going to be Curious George Pickens, just based solely off of the work that he's done this season. That's not in no way, shape, or form does it mean that it becomes a carbon copy in 2026, but I'm talking strictly on how it's going to be drafted. CeeDee Lamb is still going to go first, and then George Pickens is going to follow him right after, a round and a half, 2 rounds later. New Cincinnati Bengals. If you guys are playing Dynasty, now that's a different story. If you play some Dynasty, well, I wouldn't want to buy Pickens. Pickens is way too high right now. Way too high. But still, God almighty, if you had George Pickens rotting away from the Steelers, yeah, it's like a home run right now. Freaking home run, J-Goat. All my goats. You guys are all the goats. Appreciate all you goats. Just a reminder, fellas, boys and girls and goats, just a minor, sort of major addition to this week. This upcoming Wednesday, we'll do the lineup advice holiday edition. Doesn't mean that it's just restricted to the Thursday and Friday game, obviously. But we'll make sure that we're answering any and all questions Wednesday because of players that have their games on Thursday and Friday. We did it last season, and it was epic. It was definitely epic. We did it last season, worked out well. I figured, you know what, we should do it again because again, the teams that are playing are always going to be teams that are loaded with players, fantasy wise. I'm also up 10 points in another league. I still have Dowdle, Rico. Still have Dowdle. And my opponent is CMC. Well, that sounds like the Brock, our new goat. Brock came in here. He's got CMC up 19 playing against Rico. Or the other way around. Well, nevertheless, I feel like it's going to be real close. I'm up by 10. I still have Dowdle. So you're up 10 with Dowdle. You're playing against CMC. I think CMC is going to fucking absolutely go ham. I do. I'm not going to lie to you. I think he's going to go ham. I hope that Rico is able to kind of sort of match wits. Well, that's not going to be easy. You're up 10. There's a little bit of a cushion. Little bit. I think we have a much better shot in the other one where you're up by 90. There you go. Look, dude, you know this, man. You motherfucking goats know this. This is a crazy game. Crazy. Anybody think that Josh Allen was going to be sacked 100 times the other night for to the tune of 8 points? I mean, is Rico the Carolina Panthers? They have a really, really solid, bona fide opportunity tonight. If they could pull off this win, if they could control this game and control the time of possession, Rico stands to have a good game. It's not that Rico doesn't. No. We're not saying that Rico's going to have a bad game. It's just him. Him. That guy. Him. The one that you weren't afraid to draft. G-Goat. That's right. You weren't. Him. The dude that the shepherd wasn't afraid to draft. I wish you the best of luck, man. Well, of course I wish you the best of luck. I think you have a better shot with the other one. Tron, baby. What are you doing, Tron, baby? I lost Jaden Daniels. Now he's coming back week 14. I didn't see anything along those lines today. That doesn't mean that it's not true or accurate. I just did not see anything along the lines of Jaden Daniels playing in week 14. I have too many quarterbacks now. I also traded for Jackson Dart throw. And picked up Bo Callahan. And I used Trevor this week. You could ditch Trevor. You're gonna keep Jaden Daniels because that's who you have. That's who you drafted. Dart, Bo Callahan. Jackson Dart will be on bye week 14. If that helps you. You could ditch Trevor. Trevor's mid. Still. My week 14 opponent had Purdy and needs a quarterback. I kind of want to keep. Oh, I see what you're doing, Sean Goat. You're a motherfucking goat. My week 14 opponent had Purdy and needs a quarterback. This is two QB league? Is that why we're hoarding quarterbacks between you and your opponents? I mean, I couldn't conceive of Trevor Lawrence hurting you and helping you. I get what you're doing. I absolutely do. I recommend it. I did something very similar, and it paid off fucking handsomely years ago in the home league. It had to do with Kyler Murray too back then. God, yeah, I had to hoard a bunch of quarterbacks, including what's his face, the fuck's Colt McCoy. Make sure that my opponent wouldn't add him. Still, yeah, I get it. I kind of want to keep them away. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is hurting you. I don't. They still want to run the ball. They're still going to be kind of conservative, but not kind of conservative. If I win that game, Shep, where I'm up by 90, I'm going to be on a 5-game win streak. That's what fucking, of course, man. Of course. I remember saying it. I remember like, yo, we're just going to take it game by game, week by week. Of course. It's the way it works. Got to be proactive. It's the waiver wire. Trades. It's all of that. Ooh, but with Rico gonna come through. I like that. Gold digger for life. She gives me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a kind of friend indeed. Yeah, I got a woman way over town. That's what I think of when I see gold digger. Ray. Not Ray McLeod, but Ray. Goats, give me a second here. That'll be it for the advanced data portion of our show. Thank you very much, Ryan Heath, over at Fantasy Points Data. Advanced data, advanced metrics. And I looked through this. I looked through this shit all week. In conjunction with making the best decisions for lineups for you. Trade. You guys are still trading. Galaxy pickers. You guys, if your deadline hasn't passed, then yeah, hell yeah, let's do this. CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, and Quinshon Judkins for CMC and Devontae Smith. Trade, move off of CeeDee Lamb, an injured Drake London, by the way, iffy to come back this week. Iffy. For CMC and Devontae Smith, the roster is JT. Ooh. Your roster is Jonathan Taylor, Judkins, Woody, RJ Tootin, Lamb, London, or Dunze and Diggs. I'm not gonna lie, Galaxy Goat. I like this, man. I like this. But this is what I'm gonna tell you. And this is what any of the goats will tell you with CMC. We don't have him. Week 14. Critical week 14. But I mean, I see you have Jonathan Taylor, so I mean, shit. If if you're swinging for the fences with your big swinging donkey, you know what, and you could have CMC on the bench for week 14, and now you're entering week 15 with JT and CMC. The wide receiver room is a little iffy at that point. A little iffy. I think that's why you're probably asking us. Devontae Smith is good. He's not like that, though. You know what I mean? He's not that guy. You saw what the Eagles do. The Eagles do this all the time. They finally got A.J. Brown involved, and A.J. Brown delivered. And they're still going to throw downfield to Devontae Smith. It may it may even be Devontae Smith's turn next week. I don't mind this deal though. If you could tolerate not having CMC week 14, and if you could tolerate somewhat of an iffy wide receiver room based on what I'm looking at. Lamb London. Top 2 wide receivers. Odunze, Romo Dunze, and Stephon Diggs. Like kibbles and bits. Stephon Diggs is like kibbles and bits. But we're fucking goats, Rico. It's right. 1 QB. Seems like it's a 2 QB league. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year right now is it was Emeka Egbuka, but he's cooled off. It probably still will be Emeka Egbuka. It probably still will be. I don't think it would be any of the running backs. I don't think it would be Judkins. I don't think it would be Asher Genty. Jackson Dart, maybe? That's lousy. It's a good question. It's an excellent question. I bet you when it's all said and done, it'll still be Emeka Egbuka. Unless I'm missing somebody. Tight ends. Tyler Warren? No. Well, Colston Loveland? No. Gunnar Helm, who we covered a little while ago? No. Running backs. Woody Marks? No. No. RJ? No. So well, Ted's got a pretty decent chance if he continues to play the way he's playing. Ted's not a bad one. That would be my 2. Ted or Emeka Egbuka. Final. And if you're new to the channel, Goat, please give us a like. Don't forget, Goats. Don't forget to like. All my Goats, don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribe and like. What time is it? 7 o'clock. We can stay on here for a few more. Wandale is starting wide receiver. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He probably should have been. He probably should have, especially in 3 wide receiver leagues where you have to start 3 and the flex. Yeah, of course. Wandalius is what we'd like to call him here on the Fantasy Goats. Wandalius. I never watched the Giants, so I have no idea. I don't blame you. I don't fucking blame you. I don't watch the Giants either. I'm forced into it. Yeah, no. Tyrone Tracy had a pretty good game yesterday. Wandale had a great game. Jameis is Jameis. The Giants' problem isn't their offense. The Giants' problem isn't their offensive line. No, that's not the Giants' problem. They can't stop a nosebleed. And that's with a very good front 4 and 1 good linebacker. They've got 5 dudes up front that are almost all Pro Bowl. Almost all of them. It's amazing to me. Now, their defensive coordinator was just fired today. Just fired. He's the one that should have went, not Dable. I mean, Brian Dable was fired for several reasons. Now they just fired the defensive coordinator. This team can't stop anybody. Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, which I doubt he stays. I doubt they don't need him. Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Bobby Okereke, These are all good. These are good players. These are good players up front. I can't name you one single dude besides Javon Holland, safety. That ain't it. There's that other guy, Abadejo, Mr. Bakes, motherfucker, Mr. Bakes, Mr. Bakes. Look at the motherfucking Bakes. But just a pick randomly, Mr. Bakes. I had so many quarterbacks. I have a first round bye. Fuck yeah, you had a first round bye. That's what I'm here for. Of course, you have a first round bye. T-Goat. I had so many quarterbacks because JD5 was injured. Dart had a concussion. Nix was on a bye, so I had to pick up. All right, you did well. You did what you had to. Yeah, you can say goodbye. That dude ain't gonna. He's not gonna hurt you. Let Trevor put up a 25 on you. That'd be the best case scenario. It's not gonna hurt. Here's the downside, right? Let's say hypothetically speaking, something happens to one of your other skill position players. Now you have no room to add anybody. Then you're gonna have to drop the player. Just do it now. Just do it now. Free up a spot. You could you could add some wide receiver depth, maybe another tight end piece, maybe another defensive piece. So on and so forth. A cuff. Like these my wide receivers who playing Christian Watson. Well, we covered Watson. It's looking good. Curious George looking good. T. Higgins got the noggin smacked up. Wandelius and BTJ. It's like a good room of B+ wide receivers. Yeah. And your running backs are probably even stronger. So I can see why you're in the playoffs, Brock. I want to trade CD. I want to trade CD Lamb chops. Because he's dropping the ball a little bit. You want to trade CD Lamb? I don't know who you'd be getting for CD Lamb, man. You'd have to ask for a haul for CD Lamb. Do you want a running back? You need a running back? You should be asking for Bijan Robinson, James Cook for CD Lamb. CD Lamb is alpha wide receiver. I know he didn't have the best game. I know George Pickens is there. CD Lamb is nothing's wrong with CD Lamb. They're gonna get CD Lamb the ball. Didn't Brian Schottenheimer say something like that? Wait a minute, hold on. Was that for this week or is that moving forward into Thursday, Thanksgiving? Brian Schottenheimer said that they are making an effort to get CD Lamb into the end zone, like an aggressive effort. But I know I wasn't dreaming this. Was that his press conference last night? Talking about this upcoming Thursday, the Cowboys playing the Chiefs. Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. It was him talking about this upcoming game against the Chiefs. And I'm saying to myself, well, I mean, it's not like the Chiefs aren't going to plan or prepare for this, but it seems like now you're really giving them more like bulletin board stuff for them to really be honing in on it. But he did say it. I'm not sure if I'm moving CD Lamb chops, RJ. And it better be a solid deal in return. Mr. Bakes. My motherfucking Bakes. Mr. Bakes Goat. What are we doing, Bakes Goat? What are we doing here? What are we doing, Bakes? Who are we destroying today? I have never known who to play. I just pick up randomly. I'm glad that you're here with us now, Brock. I just give you experienced fantasy advice. Experienced. Been playing for... God almighty, we've been playing for years. I don't mean 5 years, 10 years. We've been playing almost at the dawning of the internet. I'm not even joking. Not even joking. My godfather was playing fantasy well before that. He used to show me on a piece of paper, his players and the score. You got either 6 points, 3 points, or 1 point. 3 or 1 being for the kicker that you have in. There's no such thing as yards. There's no such thing as catches for fantasy scoring. The secretary back then was the one who had to chase down the numbers, to accumulate everything. And then we got into the game. When I say we, me and my friend, we got in just when like the .com boom hit. Just when Yahoo blew up. And ESPN jumped right along with them, as ESPN did. CBS. It all came about with the .com. And I play in leagues today with dudes that I used to read their articles on the site. The same dudes that have been working there for CBS 20 plus years. I play in leagues with them now. Dog walk them. That's right. I don't know if I really need running backs because Hampton is coming back. Oh, RJ. He's coming back. I don't know how well he's coming back. I don't know how much work he's coming back to. Remember, the Chargers, they're still going to want to kind of rotate. I don't think Kamani the Body, Vidal, is going away anywhere anytime soon. I don't think he's going to just evaporate. So, yeah, Hampton is coming back. It's nice to have Hampton coming back. I don't know if he's just coming back to some sort of 73% carry share. RJ Goat, I just want you to keep that in mind. I don't know if I really need running backs because Hampton's coming back, but I think I just need better wide receivers. Let me see this. RJ Goat. Bakes Goat. Oh, yeah, CD. And I know you're a little disappointed with the lamb chops. Don't trade CD. I wouldn't be trading CD. I don't. That's like one dude. Again, it's not that no player isn't like not tradable, right? Like they all are tradable assets. It's just a matter of for what value in return. That's why I kept stressing, if you're gonna do it, you better be a freaking whole package. Better be good. Better be at least 2 really good players back. And I'm not even sure who those players are at this point, week 13. I mean, it better be someone like Bijan Robinson and maybe another wide receiver. Yeah, man. I know CD's gonna cook. CD's gonna cook. Are you just treading along like the playoff line right now? Are we like almost, in what's your record? That's just the easy way to say it. What's your freaking record? What's up, Cap Baby? What Cap Baby? Yeah, they all do. He's been dropping passes a little bit. Cap Baby, would you do JSN and Brees Hall for Henry, Flowers, Ferguson? See, there you go, RJ. This is kind of along the lines, and I still don't think I would do it. You want to trade JSN now, along with Brees Hall? Costly fumble, but at least he had a better game this week with Tyrod. and you want to take on Derrick Henry, Flowers, who's doing nothing for us, Ferguson, third/fourth option now in their passing game. I wouldn't do that, Cap. I wouldn't do it. Sorry, man. I wouldn't do that. I'm not doing anything with JSN. I'm not doing that. So I'm not getting it. Flowers doesn't even come close to JSN. And Henry, that's a tough one. I don't think I would do that. That's a tough one. Capgo tomorrow night, the waiver show, 8:00 with the War Chief and the Commissioner. We could pose this same one, and if I can remember, I will present it for you. We'll see what they have to say. I don't even think I would do that. Let's just roll with JSN, baby. Roll with JSN. You're rolling with Breece Hall. A couple of weeks ago in my home league, the dude that's in first place who had JT and JSN, right? He moved JSN and I think maybe Ladd McConkey. No. I'm sorry. He moved JSN for Jahmyr Gibbs and Ladd McConkey. So now he's got JT and Jahmyr Gibbs on his team. So that's the deal. Ladd McConkey came back in return, along with Jahmyr Gibbs for JSN. That was like that was maybe like 3 weeks ago. This is a little bit light. This is light, Capgoat. It's light. Right, Brock? It's light. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and goats, very, very, very special. A special announcement. Look at this. Look who's here. Hello, Sniper. Fantasy Goats. We were talking about Carly and the Colts earlier, right? Yes, we were. And how they had a tough win. Tough loss, I mean. It was going to be a tough loss for the Colts. But one team that did not disappoint were the Green Bay Packers. Why? Because not only did they stomp out the Vikings, but it was also a birthday game for Sniper Mel. We want to wish you a very happy birthday, Sniper Mel, ladies and gentlemen. Mel, who's 31 goats old today. My dear friend, I hope you had a wonderful day. The tight ends are always premium. And yeah, so I hope you had a great day. We want to wish you a very happy birthday. We thank you so much for your support. Always. Thank you for our friendship. I know this girl 3+ years now. I know this girl 3+ years, this child. And well, how did we meet? Yeah, we met through some bozos. That's besides the point. Yes, I'll send it to you. We met through mutual people, and this child, all she wanted to do, she loves her Packers. She loves to support people, and she loves her Packers. And that was immediately I got fixated on that. And then she wanted to play fantasy. The rest was history. We're here today. Where else? Snipes. My snipes. Glad I stumbled onto the channel that I got. Glad that you stumbled onto the channel. Where was that? I wanted to read all that. Brock. Whatever. Don't trade CD, even though he's a yes. Glad there it is. Fuck. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. I'm glad that you stumbled. Yeah, dude. We've been live 6 nights a week during the season, but there's no off season here at the Fantasy Goats. There's no off season, right, Sniper? There's no off season. We deliver all football content, all rookie content in the off season, all the draft stuff, the off season, the free agency stuff. Cover the draft. I love the draft. Then I mean, before you know it, it turns into like preseason. I don't mean like the actual preseason. I mean preseason fantasy, like late June. Late June, I was telling everybody not to draft Cortland Sutton, and the proof is on the channel. And let's not forget how much this girl loves her fantasy and loves her football. She beat the Shepherd in one of our leagues. That's right. For the first time. I couldn't be more proud of her. You need waivers, bro? I need waivers. Waivers tomorrow. Who do you like? John Mechie? God almighty. God help us. Dylan Sampson? Dylan Sampson will be on our list. He's been on and off the damn waiver wire all season. Dylan Sampson's a good one, I think, now that Shador's on the center. I'm 5-7 right now. Also, I sent the trade earlier with CD. Damn, why is everyone's looking to get me? Oh, same dude earlier with CD for Wandale and Jalen Waddle. Okay, so because of the record, I understand why you need to be proactive and look to make a move. I'm going to applaud that for sure. I think Wandale and Jalen Waddle. Wandale, you're not going to have week 14. And Wandale is still just Wandale. He's good. Wandale is good. He's good. He's not CD. That was a great game. He turned in. I'd like to see Wandale do it more than once. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, see? It's a birthday. That's okay. I said it. I think I said it before I even saw that. I said it. Yes, I will send it to you. That's a nice one, right? It was a nice one. No off season. I'm a goat now. You a goat, man. You're a fucking goat. Ooh, the fact that I'm going to do my first dynasty next year. Sniper, you and Brock. Dynasty. That's the one format that the Sniper doesn't do yet. I've been trying to get her into it. All right, Goats. We got the game in a little over an hour. A little less than an hour. Appreciate everybody for being here. Well, thank you very much for being here. One more time, we'll give Sniper one more. Appreciate you. Want to wish Sniper a very happy birthday. We'll send that. We will be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Waivers. That's it. Good night. Good luck.